do the experiment for first experiment. Actually, the first experiment is composed of is not only the doing the or finding plotting the required equation, the equations for certain functions. It actually covers the basics of Matlab. Okay. So I will share one manuals or lab journal that is written by one of your senior in earlier classes, where I taught that time as per my uh, knowledge or the thinking that should be that is related to the first experiment. Okay, so it may differ from your list of experiments, but some useful things you will find here, okay, that will be helpful in writing the MATLAB codes. Okay, so is my slide visible, students? Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is written there?
Sir, familiarization, experiment number 1, sir.
Yes. Familiarization with Matlab. You should respond. All should respond. Not only one person. That is not good. That only always one person will respond. What the others are doing? Others are doing, keeping their mouths out, shut. We are sitting idle. You should take part in the discussion. Otherwise, this discussion or class will be meaningless. You should take part. You should not be only the listener, mute listener. This happens in the theory class also, that only one person used to respond in that class. It's very, very bad. Okay. So there are some basics operations that I want to show you. Okay. So first operation is that you already know, but I will revise it. Okay. So that is operations in command window. Command window is there. You can write in any variable a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 5. After that you may give colon. Okay. So your answer will be in command window, it is a plus b is equal to 15. Okay. Then b minus a. So once the variable is initialized, okay, you can the variable, the data are stored in those variables, and you can perform any operations. So this way, a b minus a into b. Okay, this is the multiplication sign. B by a is the division sign. And let us do one example, that power, how we give the power. Okay, so let's say this 2 to the power 2. Okay. Then log function, how we give log function, log of pi. Okay. Then into sine x, sine of any variable. X is already there, so you can write x is not mentioned, but you can give any values of value of x there directly. So it provides you some x equal to 2 is given. Okay. So this is this way we can perform some operations. Then format long. Format long is what? That means how many decimal points we can choose. Okay. So in the previous example, we see that up to 4 decimal points the MATLAB has calculated. That is 5.0409, 4 decimal points. Now, if you want to have for more accurate calculation, okay, you can use the long format. So you have to initialize that format long, okay, to get the answer for 50 decimal place. Okay, 15 decimal place. So this is x equal to 2. So you get that this value. Similarly, you can perform how we put the brackets in the MATLAB, that is sine of pi divided by 2 into 2 under bracket is pi, so it is 0.7071. Okay. Similarly, a is equal to exponential to the power pi divided by 4, so it gives you 2.1933. Okay, and a is equal to this, okay, I divided by, so this way we put the values. Okay, so now you see what is the meaning of this I. Can you tell this expression? See the expression a is equal to exponential to the power I divided by 2 into 2. What is the meaning of this expression? Can anybody tell?
Sir, e power I by 4.
And
Yes,
E power I by 4.
what is that I meaning?
It's, sir, under root of minus 1.
Okay, that is imaginary number. So imaginary number you can give directly as I or J. Okay, J is sometimes used. So you get this value 0.9689 because this will be used when you will perform the Fourier transform. Okay, they will use the uh, this this or Z transform. Okay, this complex variable should be used. Then operations in command window with arrays. Okay, how we define arrays? So this is x equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we get the arrays. It is one-dimensional array, and one particular index. Okay, index of any variable is given as, say, of this is array x. Okay, so say let us say I want to know the uh, value of the variable or value at the positions at the second element of the array, the second element of the array. So this is x of 2. If you want to have first element of the array, it is x of 1. So can you tell if you want to have the third value of the third element of an array, what should be the expression?
Sir, x of 3.
X of 3. Yes, correct. X of 3 would be the variable. Now, next, so this is written there. Now, how we write one column vector? Okay? Column vector is given as y is equal to 1. Then after that, semicolon should be there, 2, then semicolon, then 3. So this way it will create one column matrix or column vector. But the earlier one, this way it gives you the row vector. Okay. Then here also you can use the index of the variable this way, y of 2. Okay. Now we perform one particular operations that x is equal to 1, 2, 3, let us say, and y is equal to 4, 5, 6. Okay. So if we want to have the scalar multiplication is we use the dot. Okay, so x dot y is the individually the arrays will be elements of the array will be multiplied. So it is 1 into 4, 2 into 5, 3 into 6. So it gives you 4, 10, 8. If we use the dot into the dot term, into the multiplication term, asterisk. Okay, this is called scalar multiplications. But if you don't put dot, then it will implement the vector multiplications. So that I will show later. What is vector multiplications? Probably yes, it is the next slide, next part. So now similarly, the scalar division of array is what? X divided by y. So it is x dot divided by y. So this is this one 0.25, 0.4, 0.5, like that we get. Okay. Then now coming to the this star. Okay, so it actually, so if you don't if you use this variable x and y, it's a simple row matrix. Okay, then if you put x into y, then it will show error because their matrix dimensions are not same. You know that for matrix multiplication, the basic rule is the number of columns should be equal to the number of rows. Okay, for two arrays, number of columns of the first matrix should be equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. So if they don't match, then they will show error if you don't use dot. Okay, so for that we can use x equal to 1 to 3. Okay, and you can also use y as column matrix, 4 5 6 column matrix, then there will be no error. So this way we can perform, okay, array or addition, array subtractions like that, x plus y into x and x minus y. Okay, then these are very basic simple things, but these are also useful to build your knowledge in this field, in this programming. So now let us do one this thing, operations in command window with matrices. So one matrix we take as A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and B is another 3, 4, 5, 2, 6, 8, 1, 5, 9, and it creates one 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, now you can add these two matrices. In addition and subtraction, no dot is required. Okay, but dot is required in case of vector scalar multiplications. But vector multiplications, you see A into B, here no dot is there, and still we are getting result because that they are square matrix and their number of columns and number of rows are same. So according to the rule of matrix multiplications, we are getting these results, and A into B and A dot into B, these two are different because A dot into B, that means individually the element by element matrix multiplication or scaling of data is taking place. Okay, so that's why these data are different. Now if we want to get the first element so of the matrix, so we write 1 comma 1. We want to get the second elements 1 comma 2. If you want to get the third A3 comma 1, so third row and element 1, first element, third row, and so third row and first column. Okay, third row, first column of A. So third row, first column of A is not this one. Okay, actually, it is of this certain yeah, 7. This one actually, they are showing A into B, the result. Okay, result they have stored here, might have stored here. So this one you can get. Okay. So yes, no. A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. So third row, first column is 7, okay, of A. Similarly, A can then another notation. Let us say it is A colon comma 1. Can anybody tell what does it mean? A colon comma 1. There are certain noise which you can handle. There are certain noise which is actually depending on your choice. A colon comma 1. Can anybody tell? Avinav? Like switching on, switching off. So that is always there.
Students, you are all advised to respond to the faculty whose name is uttered. You have to respond. Okay. Otherwise, we'll keep it absent, and your day-to-day activity marks will be reduced. Abhinav, respond to Somnathji.
Column will be one and rows up to which we want to be rows will be unlimited.
Yes, please tell again what you are telling.
Column will be one and rows up to which we want to.
Yes.
Rows is uncountable.
So, so first column, and in first column, all the elements that are calculated. Okay? This is the way to know if these are unknown, and even if you don't know how many number of rows are there. So this is the way to get the values, and also you get to know how many rows are there. Okay. So now similarly A colon 3 you can get the third column and their elements, and similarly we can do the first row and their elements in column. So it is 1 2 3. Similarly R is equal to 1 4 R. Yes, this is the transpose. So how we do operate this, use command. How if we transpose one matrix, that A dash, simply A dash. Then if you want to calculate the determinant, so it is determinant, you will calculate determinant of B, det of B. Then inverse of matrix using this command inv of B. So this way it is calculated. Okay. Then so there are other methods of indexing. Okay, I am not discussing all. So then let us. This is some results of programming. Okay, so you have to perform some programs. You have to note down, and also you have to perform. I will upload this document, this lab manual. Okay, so write a program in Matlab for addition of two matrices, subtraction of two matrices, vector multiplication of matrices, scalar multiplication of matrices. Okay, so these are already examples are written. Okay, this you have to go through and write the MATLAB code for this 1 2 3 4 5 6 3 4 5 7 8 9 1 5 9, like that. So here then another part I am giving, another task I am giving you. Write a program in MATLAB for finding inverse of a matrix, finding transpose of a matrix, and finding determinant of a matrix. So these commands you should use and perform the task, and their results are shown here. Okay. So this code is also written. You just go through it and write in your MATLAB command. Okay. Then another part, write a program in Matlab for creating a 5 by 5 random matrix and representing a 2 by ये भी कर लेना, ठीक है? That random matrix we can create, and here and represent a 2 by 3 matrix out of it. So now we are leaving this one. Now another important part, that is let us write a program in MATLAB for plotting of two signals without using subplot command. No, यहाँ पे कौन सा है, स्किप कर गया क्या? So this part is actually programs in the editor window. Okay, editor window. So that means creating the file, MATLAB file you have to create and then write the codes. Okay. So how we'll plot? So you take one array of x is 0.0 to 0.5, then 5. Let us say signal 1 is x, signal 2 is x square. So plot of signal 1, okay, and it's signal 1 and color is blue. Okay, to be in this colon, it is semicolon, it is blue. Then hold on. Then hold on means two signals or more than two signals can be plot, more than two graphs can be plot in one screen. Okay, one figure. So the command is for that is hold on. Then after hold on, you press again, you write again plot signal 2 is red colored say. So you can give the title, a title function plot, then x level value of x, okay, like that. And also you can use the axis x, okay, x axis, x comma signal 1, x comma signal 2, like that you can do. So now what is the plot? So going for other signals, okay, this same program is written. Okay, so yes, so let us do one part, like write a program to make a function, write a program to make a function reverse of a matrix or series of numbers, and then make another function to call the previous value. Okay. So here in this part, okay, we use the function call. Okay. What function? And using function call, you have to perform the reverse of a matrix. Okay. So you know that how to write the function call. So first, using the in the editor window, you write declare all, close all CLC. A is input. Input is the function. Enter the series of numbers to be reversed. Enter the series of numbers to be reversed. This way, automatically this command will come. Enter the series of numbers to be reversed. And m is equal to length of a. So this m will be calculated as the length of a. The length of a, this array will be, after putting the array, the length of that array will be calculated, means how many elements are there. Then g is equal to one function, that is rey, okay, or rev, whatever it is. You are creating the function rev or rey, let us say rey, okay, rey say, and we are passing the variables to that value, to that function a comma m. A is your length and m is a is the total array and m is the length of the array. So, and this function is declared, called here, and it is declared here. Okay, the function, it may be defined in another file. That function f is equal to rey a comma x. Then here we are writing the code a comma n. N now it is using the value of what, m. Okay, that is length of a. So this will be, so we are using one for loop, I is equal to 1 to 1 to n. Okay, and b comma I is what, a of n minus I plus 1. Okay, that is the first value will be assigned with the last value of the array, because we want to perform the reverse of the matrix, so reverse of the array. So n minus I plus 1. So when I is equal to 1, that time, okay, minus 1 and plus 1 will cancel, so it will take only a of the n last value, that is according to the length. N is what? The length of the matrix, that means last element. Last element. So this way. Now when a is equal to n, okay, when I is equal to n, that time n minus n, that means 0, but plus 1 is there because it is the first element. So then we store this value to be f, okay, and f will be passed to the calling function this way, and it will be stored into G. Okay, so we'll display G. So the result is provided. Result is provided there. That if your matrix is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then matrix it will calculate as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Similarly, you can ascending. So there are many other basic programming, these basics task you can perform, like write a program to arrange a series in ascending order. Okay, ascending order. This is the program. You just go through it. How we'll write a program for ascending order. Okay, and I'm not explaining because you know how to write the program for ascending order, but just go through the codes. Okay, then yes, then we coming to the original your first. The first experience is consisting of not only the plotting of some sequence, but also some basics operations or basic programming skill, development of basic programming skill in Matlab. So the earlier part, or that is familiarization in Matlab, that you have to do, or the basic skill development in basic programming skill development in Matlab, those programs that I discussed you have to do. And the second part, that is the generation of the following sequence to plot them using Matlab. That part you have to do. So in the last class, theory class, I discussed that there are different sequence, okay, elementary sequence like sample sequence, delta n, unit step sequence, un, unit ramp sequence, n into un, okay, exponential sequence, exp a of n, sine or cosine sequence, okay, sine into wn, sine of omega n. So these are the basic sequence. Okay. Now, so here, and that also can be treated in terms of actually, like I'm telling you, not weighing it now. Now I'm talking about the movement of atoms or maybe electrons. So their first year, that theory is written, that what do you mean by delta, the sequence delta n, the sample sequence, okay, that exists, or that it exists only at n is equal to 0, okay. Then unit step sequence that has n greater for, that is 1 for n greater than equal to 0, and it is 0 for n less than 0. Ramp sequence is n into un, or simply n, okay, for n greater than equal to 0 or n less than 0. N into un means un, since un is 1, so you can easily multiply it, and it is used because ramp sequence is defined for positive values of n, okay, positive values of n. So that's why un is multiplied. Okay, u of n. Un is a, it is a causal sequence. It exists only in the positive part of the time axis. Okay, so that's why to represent the ramp signal in positive part, okay, that's why it is multiplied with the step function un, step sequence. Then exponential sequence, you have earlier discussed in the last theory class that it is a to the power n, and a may take any value, less than 1, greater than 1, negative, positive, a negative, and also fractions. It can take any values. Then sinusoidal sequence. Sinusoidal sequence is sine of omega n, and n may take any values, minus infinity to plus infinity. And here omega is the frequency variable, that is equal to 2 pi f, okay, in angular frequency variable 2 pi f. So how we'll write the program? Okay. So as you can see that to express the above sequences graphically, the following programs are given for specified length and specified frequencies. Okay. Frequencies only for the sine signal. Okay, but for other case, they are all have specific length, specified length. Okay. So let us consider first unit sample sequence. Okay. So I am here giving you a pause of 1 or 2 minutes. You can ask in between if you have any doubt, and we will go for further discussion. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can ask in between. Nalin? Nalin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So have you understood this, what I discussed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Manvendra?
Yes, sir.
You tell how we will index the, say, let us say we have one matrix of having is variable a, it is a matrix, and we want to get the columns, so all the values or elements that are present in the second column. So how we will represent it? The values that are present in the second column. How we will represent it of a matrix, say A. Have you got my question? Dharmendra?
Yes, sir.
कैसे करेंगे बताओ? सेकेंड कॉलम में क्या क्या वैल्यूज है for any matrix? How we will get? So what I was telling, actually you look at it, because my main name is given, my name is not a column. Unable to tell. Who can tell? Utkarsh, can you tell? Utkarsh? If you look at it, and if you have that inner piece, no, you can do much. Who can tell it? We are given one matrix A. We want to get the values, okay, of A at column 2. How will you get it? One of you should become a CR. This class represented by me. I do not know which other can use. Class monitor. कौन बता सकता है?
Sir, if the matrix is named as A, then A bracket colon, then a semicolon, then the column number.
Not semicolon.
No, sir. In between, we will have a semicolon, no, sir.
No, 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 no.
Comma, it will be.
Yes. Who told comma? कॉमा कौन बताया? अगर मान लो if you want to get the values of the third column, then it would be colon, then comma, then 3. Now if you want to get the values, all the values of a particular row, let us say 1, first row, what we will do now? Indexing is very much important in Matlab, otherwise you cannot do anything. In any Matlab is basically matrix laboratory. You have to deal with matrices only, and you have to deal with the indexes only of any matrix.
Sir, A of 1 comma colon.
Yes, A 1 comma colon. If it is second row, it is A of 2 comma colon. Very simple. Okay. Then there is also provision of three-dimensional matrix. Two-dimensional matrix is there. Okay, like row column index is there, row column index. Then three-dimensional matrix also exists. That is A comma X Y Z. Generally, we provide A comma X comma Y, but Matlab has the provision that it provides the three-dimensional matrix A comma X comma Z. Okay, so like it is like what? It is like say we consider one book. Okay, a book has many pages. Okay? And if we consider that each one page is having one matrix written, okay, one page is what? It is a 2D two-dimensional figure. Okay, one page is a two-dimensional figure, and let us say this consists of one matrix. Then another page consists of another matrix. Another page next is another matrix. So the index of the pages or page numbers actually represents the Z axis Z or variable Z. Okay, and the X and Y of the matrix A, okay, is the elements, particular elements of the matrix. So one matrix can be defined three-dimensionally: A, X, comma Y, comma Z. Okay, so this is three-dimensional. And multi-dimensional matrix is also possible: A, X, comma Y, comma Z, comma Z1, comma Z2, Z3, whatever it is. So this is possible in MATLAB, multi-dimensional matrix. So in case of four dimensions, so I told the example of one book. So there may be another book here, just placed over it, one book and another book. So each and every book has that fourth variable, index of fourth variable Z2. Okay, and out of Z2 one Z1, and within Z1 XY is there. So this way you can index one individual matrix. So coming back to the sequence, okay, it's very interesting. You know that MATLAB has the problem that it cannot mention the index of 0. N is equal to 0. It always starts the index from 1. It always starts, since it is an array, so array or matrix, it's always start with the index n is equal to 1, okay, or any value, any variable, but start index, it starts from always value 1, not 0. So in case of sample sequence, it exists n is equal to 0. The sequence delta n exists as n is equal to 0. So how we will deal? So first we take unit sample sequence, how we consider that n is equal to 101, 101, okay, then x is equal to minus, so total number of sequence we consider 101. Okay, we have considered because this n minus 1 we have to consider minus n minus 1 by 2, 2. So 100 n minus 1 means 100, 1 minus 1, so 100 by 2, so that it will not be a fraction. So that's why we consider 101, slightly more than slightly this increased by 1. So 100 minus 100 divided by 2, it is minus 50, and 101 minus 1, 100 by 2, it is plus 50. So minus 50 and incremented by 1 to plus 50. Okay, this is the what? Total range. Okay, total range of time axis. Total time axis range we consider from minus 50 to plus 50. Okay, incremented by 1. And can anybody tell why it is incremented? Should be always incremented by 1. Can anybody tell? Okay, I have to call your name, then only feel to respond. Deep Rishi. Deep Rishi is there? Deep Rishi? Deep Rishi, are you there? Germany was unable to achieve
Somnath ji, I think Deep Rishi is not there. So
yes.
we can make him as absent.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have to do one thing, that every day we have to maintain one that chart, okay, that whenever I call somebody's name, whether he responds or not, okay, depending on that, their individual day-to-day performance will be validated, checked.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
And students, you are advised to interact with the faculty regularly. Those who will be interestingly interact, okay, so they will be marked as good in the day-to-day performance. Since it is online mode, so your participation, your interaction is very much necessary. Okay, those will be interacting with us, they will be marked as good in day-to-day performance, and that will be evaluated as some marks in your final gradation.
Yes, yes, yes. I have already noted. Okay.
Yeah.
And every day they will be marked whenever we explain and they are not able to respond. That means they are not attending the class. Okay. Once you attend, if you don't know, but you can respond. If you are not able to tell, but you should respond when your name is called.
It seems that they have just joined and left, right? Just joined, for the sake of
Yes.
joining, they have joined and they are doing their own stuff.
Yes.
They're not attentive nor present.
What they are studying, then that we know very well what they are doing.
Is
Okay.
it clear, students?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, just now Deepesh told that his laptop was stuck. That's why he was not able to send.
See, tell him to respond in later on also.
Yes, sir.
It's not like that, okay, you give some excuse and we'll listen and simply it will be like that.
Then I'll ask Kanish. Kanish, are you there?
So sorry, sir. My laptop got hanged.
Okay, but you should respond later on, right?
Yes, sir, I responded now.
Just now answer the question that I
Answer.
asked.
Sorry, sir.
Now
What
answer
I
the
asked.
So may you please repeat the question, sir?
Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is It is regarding the programming of writing, drawing the unit sample sequence. So we have considered the length of the sequence to be 101, okay, and we declare variable x as minus n minus 1 by 2 to plus n minus 1 by 2. That means minus 50 to plus 50. And in between we put increment 1. So my question is, why this increment 1 is given? Why not any other value?
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Anybody knows it?
No, sir, no idea.
No idea. What we want going to do? What we are going to do? We are going to implement the unit sample sequence delta n. So for that we are mentioning the time axis. Okay, minus 50. Both in time axis means in negative time axis we consider it extends to minus 50, and positive time axis we it extends to plus 50. And this is the axis what? This is axis n. N is what? N is sample number. Okay, n is sample number. So always the sample number is incremented by 1. First sample, second sample, like that. So the axis for x starts from minus 50. Then it is incremented by 1. So its next value would be minus 49 and minus 48, like that. It goes to 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to plus 50. This is the this is what? Sample number or time instance, since it is a discrete sequence. That's why this axis is considered. So now is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So but we have to plot the delta n. So delta n is valid at n is equal to 0 and it has magnitude 1 at n is equal to 0. So how we will do that? So we have to assign, we have to create one array, okay, that will have zeros and value 0 for all the time instance except at n is equal to 0, where its value would be 1 only. So you have to create one array. This consists of all zeros because it is delta n, all zeros except at n is equal to 0. There we'll put the magnitude 1. Okay, so that array we have to create. This is the simple operation. So we are creating, so we consider one for loop, okay, that starts from I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, 1 to n, because we are considering the length of 101. N is 101. Its length is 101. So 1 to 101. This array we are considering, and we are assigning that if x of I is equal to 0, that means what? That for uh, x of I means x of 1, okay, is 0. So x क्या है? x टाइम एक्सिस है. अगर 0 है तो 0 तो आएगा, because it is in its value starts from minus 50. Okay, then it is incremented by 1. So it will occur at certain time when it will become 0. Some time will occur when it will become 0. So when that x will become 0, that means the time axis n is 0, that time will assign the variable y, okay, to be 1. Okay, when the this n becomes 0, or that I, and at that time the axis, or the not axis, the variable that I have considered, okay, I some value will be there. So y of that value will be 1, okay, because we have to create that array that I discussed, that at n is equal to 0 should be 1. So then it ends, and other cases like if x of I is greater than 0, that means positive values of time, okay, that is n is positive, okay, x of I is nothing but your n, not n this n is time n, okay. When n is positive, that time all the values should be 0. Similarly, when n is negative, negative time, okay, that time is also, it will also be 0. Okay. So three cases are considered when positive ends, the positive n, positive time, negative time, and the origin time n is equal to 0. At the origin n is equal to 0, the array y is stored as 1, and when for positive time and negative time, the array that is y is stored as 0. Okay, so we got the array now y, and we can plot as x comma y. X comma y, what is x? X is your time axis that ranges from -50 to +50, and y is what? Y is your array that is consisting of the magnitudes of the time this function. So if you plot it, you will get this function. Okay, this unit sample sequence is this one. It exists at n is equal to 0, and for other values, it's all, they are all 0. Okay, up to -50 to +50. So this way, uh, this is calculated unit sample sequence. Then step sequence. Step sequence, here also we consider the array from minus time array, the time array from -50 to +50, and you have to create the array for this sequence so that for n less than 0 volts. What is the step sequence? For negative time, negative n, they are all 0. So this is written here that for negative values of n, or x of I is less than 0. X of I is less than 0. That means x of I indicates the time when the times are negative. Okay, x of I indicates time. I is your array, that is a variable that is increasing. Okay, and xi is already one array. It consists of negative values of n, positive values of n, and the origin n is equal to 0. So for negative values of n, we keep y of I to be 0. Okay, and for xi greater than equal to 0, okay, that is n is equal to 0 origin and the time positive times. So for all these cases, yi is equal to 1. Okay, so then we plot, so we close the loop, for loop, and then we plot stem x comma y. So we get the step function as this one is the step function. You see, this is the step function. For all negative values, it is 0, and for all positive values of n, these are all 1. Okay, so this way step sequence is calculated. Then ramp sequence, same conditions we are taking, that n the times range from -50, 101, n is 101, so 101 minus 1 divided by 2, -50 to +50, and we creating the array of y where the variable will be stored, okay, by mentioning the index I from starting from 1 to n. Okay, 1 to n goes to n. So for negative values of n, this is 0, and positive values of n, it is the array is y of I is equal to the values of n. Okay, since it is a ramp, y is equal to t or y is equal to n, so it is y of I is equal to x of I. X of I, we cannot directly write I because I is only the index, okay, and starts from 1. So we cannot make the index 0 in Matlab. Index cannot be made 0 in Matlab. So this way we can do that this y of I is equal to x of I. Okay, this is so we can plot and we can get the ramp function as this way: 0, both positive n and negative n, they are plotted, both positive n and negative n. Okay. Then similarly, ramp sequence is over, then we get exponential sequence. Exponential sequence. So what is the formula for exponential function? Either we can write a, you can mention the value a to the power n, okay, or you can write exp. So here we are only considering that exp. We can, but here one thing you can do. Let us do for the functions a to the power n and consider a is you have to uh, take one case a is equal to 0.8, okay, and a is equal to 1.2, two case, and their negative values minus 0.8 and a is equal to minus 1.2. Okay. 4 cases you have to consider and plot. A is equal to 0.8 and a is equal to 1.2, a is equal to minus 0.8 and a is equal to minus 1.2. These 4 cases and plot a to the power n. Okay. These things here that is mentioned here, okay, I will change slightly and you have to do accordingly. And we have considered that same time axis minus 50 to plus 50. Okay. And we have to you have to create the array, okay, for getting the sequence, okay, and the axis starts, the index starts from considering the variable I, that index starts from 1 to n, okay, and you have to plot. Then another function, that is sine, okay. Sine, here you see how they have done it. The time axis is minus 50 to plus 50, same condition, and then sine of omega into x of I. X of I is your time, and each time these are calculated. So y of n is sine of omega is, they have considered pi by 6 or whatever it is. So this way you have to plot this sine sequence. This is the sine sequence you will get. Okay, so so this is all about the first experiment. So first experiment has 2 parts. first experiment has two parts. One is basic skills related to MATLAB, programming skills related to MATLAB, basics operations in MATLAB or familiarization in MATLAB. And second part is plotting of sequence. Okay, plotting of sequences. So all these two things in detail we have discussed, and you have to write the programs for all the cases that we discussed. Okay, and you have to write the codes, and next week what you have to do, you have to write the lab journal. Okay, and you have to plot the graphs. So but the coding part, okay, you can write it in your in soft copy. A soft copy is allowed. You can write the coding, whatever the coding you do, you write it, but the theory part should be handwritten. Okay, theory part and all should be handwritten. Brief theory part should be there. Okay, and all this should be handwritten, and the graphs also you can take the copy of the image and make the lab journal. Okay, so is my instruction clear to all?
So only theory part we have to write handwritten and the rest soft.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir,
Please.
I had a request, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually now we are having some internship exams, sir, like companies are coming like Microsoft, etc. So, sir, please, it would be easy for us if you made us theory part also soft copy, sir, because we are having labs and theory classes at once.
No.
I could not get like what you are requesting. For what you are requesting?
So don't tell those kinds of things. You have very few people may experience this kind of problem, but I don't know. I don't feel that all of you will face this kind of problem. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what I think that so if my instruction is clear and your doubt is clear, so I will upload this one. Okay, and slight change will be there in the exponential plotting of exponential sequence that I will mention. Okay, and after that I will upload the file. Okay, so Saul sir, do you have any things to tell to the students?
One couple of more things I need to add it over here. Students, be careful that whenever you do the experiment at your own, so when you write the code, do not copy the same thing from each other. Okay, so at least there should be a change in the number of samples that you are taking, right? Or the way you represent the graphs, right? So it should be on your own. So that reflects that you have written your code on your own. Okay, so if there is any overlapping or you have copied, so it will be reflected in the graphs, plots, and its explanation also. Okay, be careful that, and if you observe the similar kind of thing from anybody else, so you'll get penalized both. Okay, your day-to-day performance will be reduced for both. Okay, so the number of samples, the plotting style, okay, and the arrangement of graphs, it should be different from each other. Okay, you should not copy as it is given to you. If some format is given, and you should not copy to the codes from your friend, otherwise you will not learn anything. Okay, so this course, this lab is just to make you equipped with your future requirements that is coming in the internship or in your placement on your higher study or in your R&D career. Okay, so take it seriously and participate and interact. Okay. And one more thing, so we'll create an assignment for each lab. Against that assignment, you have to upload your lab journal. That will be better, isn't it, Somnath ji? Okay, students, did you get the message?
Yes, sir.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I just saw now, sir, that in Matlab we can plot only any values which are greater than 0 on
Any value
x-axis.
greater than 0.
Yes, sir, on x-axis.
Okay. That is not true. Yeah, tell me your doubt. Yeah, continue.
Sir, when I wrote a negative integer in the array, sir, in the matrix, sir, like when we are saying that we need x from that range to that range, minus to positive, then Matlab, my array's index is also becoming negative. So there it is not allowing it.
No, indexing is uh, in the positive side. So you have to make it negative. Okay, and
Yes.
indexing is not there. Matlab doesn't allow 0 indexing. Your index should start from 1 itself. To make it 0, either you have to make a -1, okay, from the array length. You have to put a -1 so that you can bring into 0. Clear?
And also
Yes,
you
sir.
cannot make the index negative. Okay, negative and 0 are not allowed.
Yeah.
But you have to treat in such a way that in plotting or in plotting you have to convert to some other variable. Okay. So while doing, you will understand, while following the programs that I have given, that I have shown, you will understand, and you will face, you will have, you will when you will do the programming, then you definitely errors will come, and from those errors, try to rectify it, and you will learn it. Okay. So it will be clear when you write the program on your own. Okay. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
So let's stop today and let me take the attendance.
Do you have any questions regarding the things that Sarah has explained? You got to know how to plot the sequence, the signals, basic elementary signals.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you are clear, then we'll stop the class over here. Otherwise, we'll wait for a couple of minutes. So you try at your own, and then let us know whether you have done it correctly or not. Only couple of signals. Somnath ji, so let them 15-20 minutes to try
Yes,
them
yes.
themselves. Then we'll call
Yes.
some students, and they have to show their results.
Okay. Okay. So let
Okay.
me upload the manual, okay, so that they will follow that and accordingly they will do that one.
Yeah, yeah.
I am uploading that right now.
Okay.
Okay.
The students, now you start writing the code. Okay. So after 15 minutes, so we'll be discussing again, and you have to show the signals that you have generated. Okay. Are there any one or two signals that you generate? It's very simple, and you can generate in a quick period of time also. So take 15 minutes time. So we'll be back again and we'll discuss. All right. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So start doing your coding either online or you have uploaded, you have installed in your laptop the Matlab. Then you do it there. Otherwise, you can do it online also. Okay. And then you have to present us. You have to present your screen, the results and codes. Okay.
Students, I have uploaded it. Okay, you follow and start writing the programming. স্যার
my online MATLAB is not getting open, sir. I don't know, it's showing some errors.
Where,
N
sir?
plus 1, n minus 1. N plus 1.
Yes, sir. N plus
Okay.
1 and n minus 1.
Okay.
No, sir. It is n plus 1 only, sir. Like minus 6 to 6, sir. So my
Okay.
number of samples is 11, sir. N is 11. So just
Okay.
I divided it, sir.
Okay.
So I got it from minus 6 to 6.
Okay. ठीक है.
So
Hmm.
at 0 it is 1, sir, and at all other it's 0, sir. Like from minus 6 to 6.
Yeah, now only you got to know how to plot negative values, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
how to
but
represent the negative.
here, what you have done, you have y of y till n plus 2. That what you have written 0.
Yes, sir.
Why 0?
Sir, because what was happening, sir, what I did, sir, first I made full array 0, sir. Afterwards, I changed the value at 0 to 1, sir. So I drew one graph, sir, where everything is 0, sir. Afterwards, I used the whole function, and afterwards I put the place where it's 1, sir.
No, it is not correct way. You have not defined the equation. You have not defined the sequence. The program should be such that should be generalized. You have to don't do anything externally, additionally. Automatically they will calculate. Okay.
Yes, sir, I'll do it now, sir.
You go through the attached file that I have shared. There you will get the idea.
Yes.
Anyone else? Anyone else does any other sequence? Submit it and put in section. If you have any kind of doubt, so as I told, you have to write in the message box, text box, so we'll help you to sort it out. Okay, clear? So we'll end up the class today over here. We'll meet in the next class on Thursday, next Thursday. Is there any confusion or any query? You can ask